missed that.
I've really missed that outro. F1 outro, come back. We miss you. Oh, on that note, welcome to the Gears and Glory Zandvoort. I'm not sure I really want to talk about this.
Yeah, this is a fresh wound, I think.
Yeah. Since we've started recording mere hours after a race has happened, it feels a little bit more painful sometimes.
Yeah, it's a little bit harder to process. I don't have the same amount of processing time
Yeah.
as what we used to. But if you miss the race and you don't want to go through that trauma of watching it, it's okay because we have you and we're going to recap the whole weekend.
We're going to recreate the whole thing for you. Like, we're going to get in our F1 cars and show you what happened.
Yeah. Physically.
Yeah, I mean, we just spoke about free practices were quite boring. The only real highlights, because an entertaining qualifying session is a good, practice session is a good practice section. So, a couple cars in the gravel. I think it was like Yuki, Max, and someone else. Don't know. Brit looks like she's thinking.
Kimmy?
Kimmy.
Yeah.
Good. But kidding, I love you, Kimmy. I'm angry. Like I said, fresh wounds. Arguably the most memorable part of any free practice session was Lance Stroll absolutely wrecking Aston Martin. I'm pretty sure I heard in the actual race coverage or qualifying that it was a new chassis.
Yikes.
They had it. Lucky they didn't ask Fernando to give Lance his car.
Not James Vowles, please.
Hey, James Vowles. Got a bone to pick with you, mate.
When I catch James. Yeah, I'm actually surprised that happened in FP2. I'm surprised that they got his car good to go for FP3. I wasn't doubting that he would be in qualifying, but I was doubting he would be in FP3.
Yeah. And he was back off a P3 in FP1, so it was quite a polar opposite to be top 3 in the first practice and then literally ruining your car in the second. So I feel like that was entertaining. That was quite like funny. Parallel. It was entertaining. We love Lance, but like that was funny. I suppose onto quali, which I think the further it went on, the windier it got, but it was really windy. Like, you could physically see the cars struggling around some corners, which is always a funny concept. And I know it's a very Zandvoorty thing, but I feel like even some other races where commentators or drivers are like, it's really windy, like, the car's hard to turn. I'm like, but you can't see it like you do in Zandvoort. Like, there's something about Zandvoort where you can physically see them struggling around a corner.
Yeah, when they play the onboard angle, you can see them like battling with the wheel in every point, and normally they're not battling with the wheel like that unless they're in like a corner or they're in like dirty air. So it was really interesting.
Yeah.
But yeah, super windy, and that affected a few drivers' quality of their laps.
That's a nice way to put it.
Yeah. So Lance clear into the gravel and the wall. He just dipped a wheel straight into the grass and just lost it.
He genuinely recreated Logan Sargent's crash last year.
Yes. Yes.
It was the exact same way, that slightly touched the grass and then you were out of control from there. So that was something. Poor bloke.
Which, when we get into the race, that seems to be how a lot of the safety cars were brought on, by just small little, just off the track moments like that. Yeah, look, the Ferraris struggled this weekend. They did struggle. And you pulled out a last minute lap, got out of the drop zone, moved into Q2. So out in Q1 was Franco, Nico, Esteban, Ollie, and Lance.
Yeah, look.
Quite standard.
Not really a shock there, is there?
No. There's no one that shocks me in that.
No. Some sadden me, but they don't shock me.
Yeah. I would like to see Ollie higher, but I think that he had a lap time deleted. I think he was really doing really well. I think he was going to be through to Q2, and then he had lap time deleted, and then Yuki got through. Or maybe Yuki pushed him down. I don't know.
Yeah, he was nearly there, I'm sure. I'm sure
Yeah,
I remember seeing him out of. I'm going to start calling it the relegation zone
I
because
like that.
that feels like what it should be. Because, sorry, but if you're performing that poorly that you're down there, relegation.
Yeah,
I said what I said. I
back
don't.
to F.
Yeah, drop back. Q2, there was a little fox on the track.
There
And
was.
I'm so sick of people seeing foxes. I live in Australia and I've never seen one with my own eyes in real life. Unless they're dead.
I have to tell you something.
Oh no.
I don't know if you know, but foxes are typically, they're an omen, and they can be a good omen, but typically they are a bad omen. Okay? And who was the fox in front of in qualifying? Charles. So usually, if you see a fox, it means, and it depends on a bunch of things, like the time of day and like what type of fox it is, and it depends on a lot, but blanket foxes are typically a bad omen, and they usually mean that like bad things are coming, like sickness or injury or like bad luck. And when I saw that the fox was in front of Charles on qualifying, I said, "Oh no,
Here it comes.
something's gonna happen."
This man,
Knowing that it was not in qualifying, it was the race.
literally, and you know what? He attracts these like omens because I don't remember if you remember. I think it was back either last year or 2023. The black cat ran across the freaking F1 circuit.
Oh my god, yeah.
But it was like, okay, so with the black cat thing, it's either if it runs from the left, I think it's bad luck. If it runs from the right, it's good luck, or vice versa. And whichever way it ran, it was the good luck way. And like, he ended up on the podium. So like, thank you, black cat. Like,
Yeah.
what is this man attracting like this superstition?
That's so crazy. I forgot about the black cat. But yeah, I thought that would be a little bit of a one to bring up.
Yeah, and I suppose we all thought his P whatever 5 or something qualifying must have been the problem.
Yeah.
Little did we know.
Little did we know. We didn't say it either, but as you can tell, Soph isn't here. She's currently catching flights. But she did all of our notes for us. Blessed little angel. So she's like she does all the time. Puts in funny little comments about her during the race.
Easy.
So I would just like to highlight that in Q2 she said the Williams looking way more competitive, and that did not age very well either. So my heart goes out to you Williams fans.
Actually, while we're talking about Soph's comments, we have to go back to Q1 really quickly and Lance Stroll dipping his wheel in the grass. I love Soph's little quotes from the F1 TV commentary. She's had I can't speak. We've established I can't speak today. Joylan Palmer's. It's quite an elementary mistake. Just hitting Lance Stroll. DC, have you ever done that? Palmer, no.
Sure.
Like I'm sure you've had an error, but that's okay.
Absolutely done that.
Oh, so I had to join that. That was so funny.
Yeah. I like that because we don't get the F1 TV commentary. So I love that she puts these little insights into her notes.
We really had a commentary team on Sky this weekend.
Yeah, I actually there was a man in a hat. Walked past. That was really
Get out of here.
I actually messaged the group chat after the race had finished at like 1 a.m. and I was like, I'm fucking sick of these commentators. I can't do it anymore. I'm about to listen to the race on mute the whole time.
Yeah.
I can't do it.
I'd try and out of some of their worst moments into our notes. I couldn't even bring myself to take notes. One thing that did stick with me is Crofty made a joke about some moment that happened in the race, and he was like, "Oh, we need a professional to debrief that in the whatever that Sky that TV it's the Sky pad." And Corinne goes, "Oh yeah, I'll have a look around the paddock to see if I can find someone." And Crofty goes, "I was talking about you." So awkward. There is no chemistry between this duo.
I hate them. I do love that we're getting a lot more of Bernie.
Yes, thank God.
I cannot wait for Bernie to be a full-time commentator.
Yeah, take over.
Take over from Martin. I can handle Crofty. I cannot handle Martin. And
No.
Karuna, he has some good insights, but he does annoy me.
But he says some silly things and some very
He does.
sexist things, and I don't like it.
Yes. If it was Bernie and Crofty, I'd be happy with that. If it was Bernie and Naomi,
Oh,
perfect.
could you imagine? Bring your baby, Naomi.
Nico. Also, we need to talk about Naomi's outfits because she was killing. She was killing this weekend. That like leather blazer that was tied under the bum.
Yeah.
Okay.
Did she dress herself? Did somebody dress her? Because her outfits, like, I don't think I've ever seen her wear a bad outfit ever.
No, she is gorgeous all the time.
Yeah.
All the time. Anyway, back on to the so out in Q2 was Kimmy, Yuki, Gabby, Pierre, and Alex. And Oscar was 0.090 seconds off Lando in P1. So Q2, things started to ramp up a little bit. Started to get a little bit interesting, you know. Started to get a bit tight. And but again, the 5 that were knocked out were not unexpected. They were cool.
Pierre shocked me a little. He's been doing okay, like top 10.
Pierre shocked me for where he finished.
Yeah.
Because normally he's like just under the top 10. He's not like kind of just near the bottom.
Yeah.
So the order of the 5 did shock me.
Yeah.
But the 5,
not really.
No.
Yeah. Yeah.
Isaac not being there.
Yeah, that was, you know, sometimes he's like into the top 10, but I feel like he's more commonly in that like middle 5 there.
Yeah.
But yeah, Q3, so real. We all knew it was Lando or Oscar's pole. Nobody had the pace this weekend to compete with them. And like they don't normally, but this weekend more than ever. Like I can't explain it. And I think I sent to the group chat, I was like, that McLaren is a rocket ship. Like I say it frequently, but it's like I can't fathom how quick that car is. And it scares me with like what it's going to be like next year. Like obviously Toto's been saying that in their like simulations, next year's regulations are allowing cars to go like 400 kilometers an hour. What is that McLaren going to be like? Is it going to be like 401? Because that's sickening in a whole 400 kilometers an hour is sickening.
Oh my god!
I don't know how that's allowed.
The current top speed that F1 car has ever gotten to was like just over 350.
Yeah,
maybe 370.
Yeah.
That was Bottas like a few years ago, like before the latest round of regulation changes.
Yeah.
So that's a bit scary.
Yeah. I like, it makes me sick to think about it. And like, I understand these dudes are professional drivers and like, this is what they do. And like, obviously this probably excites them, but it kind of terrifies me. Like, as safe as like F1 cars continue to get, it's still such a dangerous sport. And like, love watching it. I love the drama. I love the crashes, but it also makes me incredibly anxious.
Yep. It is very stressful. And if they're going, top speeds of 400, that's going to change everything. It'll change lap times. It'll change, like average circuit speed as well. Let's put a pin in this, and we can
call an episode here.
A vid on the 2026 regulations, because I think we're gonna need to do some research on those.
Yeah, because there's a lot of change.
Yeah.
After Q3, not that it was much of a shock. Hamilton simply could not go past Charles Leclerc, but I don't think there's been many points this season that he has been able to. What did get quite shocking was last second, like seconds, Isaac Hadjar up to P4.
Yeah.
I'm 100% sure that's his best starting position.
I think so.
Insane. Then Max P3, Lando P2, Oscar P1, which I think people were also expecting Lando to get pole. But we also need to talk about the British bias, because the second that Oscar gets pole, the British commentators are all, Lando could still win this. Yes, he could.
Yeah.
But Oscar just got pole. Let's celebrate that. You know?
It did really annoy me because, like, Lando beat the lap record. He set the lap record in that Q3 session. But then Oscar beat that straight after. there was no mention of that.
No.
And I understand them being like, because Lando had been P1 in every other session throughout the weekend, I understand them being like, you know, yeah, he could still go for the win. Like, it was really tight, timing, blah, blah. I get that. Why the hell did they waffle on about it so much?
Yeah, literally.
They did not talk about they did not talk about Oscar getting P1, but they also didn't talk about Isaac getting P4.
No, and that's what probably, like, I love Oscar, but I think that bothered me more. Because that's like, do we forget he's a rookie?
But when it was Kimmy,
Pray.
everyone dropped everything and they gave him his roses, which they should have done. Like, I'm saying that they should do that. Yeah. That's great. That's what the standard has to be, but they have to do that for everyone, and they didn't.
Yeah. No. And that makes me sad. I feel like Isaac Hedges my son. So I feel like everyone's just discriminated against my child. So I'm not happy about that.
We love Isaac.
But yeah, I suppose onto the race.
Yeah.
Zandvoort, yes. Zandvoort is known for its rain and its unpredictable weather, much like Suzuka. But much like Suzuka, all of a sudden it's no longer raining in Zandvoort. There was a 60% chance of rain, but like overall, pretty dry.
Yeah.
Pretty dry. Cloudy, obviously, but like, I mean, that's not necessarily like a bad thing. It brings the like track temperature down a bit. Looking like it's going to be good conditions for a race. You know what I mean? Yeah. So both the Red Bull started on soft tires. Everybody else was on hard or mediums. That's kind of like the before. The start of the race, though, Max Verstappen. Max, hello.
I actually squealed.
I think he squealed. Like, I think he actually scared himself. You know how we were talking about the other week, how, like, when Lando saw himself going towards Oscar, he must have been like, ah!
Yeah.
That's what Max must have done. Because he himself said, I didn't realise it was that wet or slippery there.
Yeah, I think he hit a patch of sand on the track.
Yeah, and it just flew.
Yeah. Mate, he just, the rear just, like, slid out from under him, and he snapped it back into place, but I genuinely thought, because where he was, when he snapped it back, he obviously hadn't applied the brakes to get into the corner, but Oscar and Lando had, like, already started braking for the corner, so I was like, he's just gonna freaking T-bone both of them. He's just gonna take them out.
Isaac into the lead.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that terrified me. I think that terrified Max, but good on, took P2 from Lando off the bat.
Yes.
Good job, I guess.
It's me, but I'm glad that he made that move.
Yeah, it was exciting. Yeah. I don't know how many people could have pulled that off.
No.
Like, I'm not even sure how Max Verstappen pulled it off, but that's another story.
Yeah.
Charles Leclerc also very quickly jumped George Russell. That put him up to P5, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
I think so.
Yep.
Soph's little comment. Soph has literally just added the Alpine was more pink than I remember. I can't say I take notice of the Alpines anymore because I don't want to think about them. They just bring me trauma.
They also don't really show them anymore, which is it's a bit depressing.
Yeah. Like, yeah. Angers me, but also, like, I don't want to see them, so, like, that's fine.
Yeah.
Alex Albon, he was an impressive start. He started, like, where did he start? Like, P15 or something? And he was, like, up to, like, so many spots off the start. So quickly. He shot up. So that was quite impressive. I think he was, like, right behind Carlos at the end of lap 1. So I think he was 9 or 10. I really liked that. As much as I'm not loving Williams at the moment because what is going on, but I really love Alex Albon. So that made me so excited.
Yeah, I love Alex too.
No, literally. Yeah, good lord. So I've literally titled this next bit Contact City, and I think that's brutally honest. I haven't seen half of these, so maybe Brit, you take us through it because I fell asleep pretty early. Basically, I woke up to like lap 11. I was like, oh.
Yeah.
was
Yeah,
fun.
look, there was a lot that happened this race. I think we had 3 safety cars, but we had quite a few VSCs. So Gabby had a pretty bad start. It was quite a slow start, but then he ended up having contact with Lance, got front wing damage, and just deemed a racing incident. So nothing came out of that.
I
But
do remember that front wing.
hmm?
I remember his front wing just flapping around. I remember that.
yeah, because Ollie was behind him and he was quite worried. He was quite worried about it. So then, by force, Gabby got brought into the pits.
Yeah.
And then they say, Soph's notes say, Lance ended up driving over Gabby's broken wing. David Coulthard, did Lance drive over it on purpose? Julian Palmer, surely not. He's deliberately putting a piece of carbon fibre under his car. Well, for Lance,
Wouldn't surprise me.
I don't think he wants to race. So,
no.
um,
This next part, I have to preface with my son predicted this.
Yeah,
he
please talk
told
through
us
this.
yesterday that the cars are crashing in the grass, and when I asked him what he was talking about, he said F1, as if I should have known that. Obviously, we had to provoke him and say, what colour cars? And he told us a white car and a blue car. And I instantly said to the girls, when I looked at the starting grid, I was like, that is going to be Carlos and Liam, because they're starting right next to each other. He was right. He was spot on.
I'm glad he wasn't right about the other thing.
I was so glad he wasn't right about the other thing. Mate, we'll get to that towards the end, but he made a prediction for the winner, and thank goodness he was not right, because I think Brit and I may have, crashed out.
Yeah.
I don't really understand how they came together. It was in turn 1, I think, but Carlos and Liam came together fighting for 7th. Even the replay kind of confused me. It was Liam's fault. It was Liam's fault. I can see that, but I don't understand how he did it.
I feel like I have to watch it again, because I can't actually remember what the incident itself was. I obviously know that they did something on the track, but and I knew that it was Liam's, but I need to watch it again, because why the hell did Carlos get that penalty?
That was disturbing. Literally over the radio, they will see Carlos goes, he's just so stupid, this guy. It's always the same thing, which valid, because it always seems to be Liam Lawson hitting someone. Liam fully lost a tire. He was driving with no wheel on his rear. And then, like we just said, Carlos Sainz got a 10-second penalty for causing a collision, which I think is disgusting. It was so clear that it was Liam's fault. I don't think anybody disagreed with that. Poor Carlos comes over the radio going, or his engineer, said, we've got a 10-second penalty, and he goes, who gets the penalty? Me. Soph's obviously added a little owl emoji, which I agree with. He sounded like one. He's like, who?
He did. Who?
And what I just saw on TikTok before we started recording this, actually, is apparently the FIA stewards have always said to the drivers, if you have a problem, come speak to us, we'll chat it out. Carlos received a text message from them saying they didn't want to speak to him.
Yeah, they refused to speak to him after the race.
I think they know they had made an error, and they were too proud to say, hey, sorry. Because 10 seconds is big, especially around Zandvoort, where the field remains not close, but pretty tight still.
Yeah. Yeah, well, it's the shortest. It's one of the shortest circuits, so
all cars lapped.
Yeah, it's so easy to get the cars lapped, and Carlos did end up being lapped.
Yeah.
Because he and Ollie maybe unlapped themselves in the second last safety car. So yeah, no. Surprisingly, I'm just trying to find where what happened with the Ferraris, because I don't know where Soph has put it in her notes. But Hamilton also had an accident and sustained damage.
Yeah, and he was noted quite early on for breaking yellow flag protocol.
Yeah.
Brit and I hate this, and I'm sure Soph hates it too. This will be investigated post-race. That drives me insane, because end of the race. I've forgotten about it. I won't make you wait to the end of the race. He got a 5-place grid penalty for Monza, which, by the way, seems insane.
That's 5 places is insane for their home GP. That's sad.
I think even if they give like time penalties or something, usually I think it's only like 5 or 10 seconds, which is not 5 places most of the time. So I think that's really harsh. Like, I don't know. That really annoyed me. Yeah, Oscar literally he ran away. By lap 8, he had like a 4-second gap to Max. But
yeah, which was great.
Max didn't last long in P2 then. Lando got him and got him good.
Yeah,
I have to Lando, that was quite a clean and like nice overtake.
Yeah. I kind of got lost for a second there. I don't know if you noticed, but I was just like not aware with where we were at. But yeah, Lando had a good overtake on Max, but I also feel like Max didn't get his elbows out as much as what I thought he would. But I feel like that's because they were coming up to like a pit window in the next sort of like couple laps. And also like Lando, the McLarens are faster than the Red Bull anyway. So's notes, because Max was on softs as well. So considering that was lap 9, I think he pitted around like in the first safety car, which was around like, I don't know, lap 12 or something, 14.
Oh, what we did forget to add is when Lance and Gabby had that little incident, Lance, obviously, he sustained damage. I think he also lost tire completely. I think he drove back to the pits on his rim. Don't quote me. I'm pretty sure.
I think he did.
So he pitted really early, like in the first couple of laps, which everyone was like, RIP. You'll see by the end of this came back to help him so much. I don't think he would have finished where he finished unless he pitted that early. Like, that seriously benefited him. So keep that in mind.
Yeah.
I don't know whether I've missed it or whether it's not in the notes, but around this point, Charles Leclerc and George Russell battled. What was it? The divas are battling.
Yeah.
They had a bit of like wheel contact. Like they were like battling it out.
We have not seen Charles battle like that in a couple years.
He lost all the cares in the world and he said, F you, I am taking P5.
He said, I am taking this from you. Give it to me right now. We have not seen him overtake like that since probably the 2021 season when he was like avidly battling Max.
Yeah, when he was like insane. Like, I think it was 2021, the rain, where like Max and Charles were not friends, crashed each other out, and they're like yelling at each other on the side of the track and then launching off. That's what this reminds me of. Like everyone's like, Mad Max is back, Mad Max is back. Max Leclerc is back.
Yep.
Because that was a rough. Yeah, literally. And then obviously after that, he worked to hunt down Isaac Hadjar, who was in P4 ahead of him. Nobody's stopping Isaac Hadjar. Charles Leclerc couldn't get him either. And then lap 17, we saw some sprinkle of rain.
Just a little bit.
I don't think it was at all enough to make any difference whatsoever.
No, but this is where Lewis had the accident.
Yeah.
So, yeah, some sprinkles of rain in lap 17. Lando had grown the gap to Max by 10 seconds. But again, Max was on softs, so he was going to have to pit anyway, so he probably wasn't pushing either. And then Will Joseph, Lando's engineer, told Lando that he would have to get closer to the car ahead in lap 21, which...
Disrespectful, bro.
I feel like it's Oscar. However, it could have been a lapped car. I'm not sure.
I don't know if anyone was like really lapped by this point, though.
Yeah, I don't think so. Because we haven't had a car yet.
They have referred to Oscar as the car ahead quite a few times now.
Yeah.
Which I think is like, I understand they're the same team but different teams, but like, regardless, that's your teammate. That's so like.
Yeah, but I feel like even other team radios where it's like the midfield and it's like Carlos
Yeah.
and it'll be his engineer and he's like, yeah, okay, 5 seconds from Ollie ahead, like go push.
Yeah.
Like
Not even the car.
they still say the name. So I want to give the benefit of the doubt and say that it was a lapped car because that's what I instantly thought, but I don't know if there were any at that early on.
Yeah.
Although this was actually around the time where I did send you guys the screenshot of the interval times from the leader, because normally they just show the times from each other, from the person in front, but they were actually showing the gap to the leader, and all the way down to like P10 maybe, it was about a minute to a minute 10 gap from Oscar.
Yeah, insane. Oh, there must not have been lapped cars then.
Insane.
Because I don't even think that's a full lap.
No. Because
that makes me so sad then.
And it would have had plus
one lap.
It would have had something that showed that they were a lap down, I think.
Oh,
Anywho, so after that's when we had Lewis's incident. He was into the wall at turn 3. I think this was the same place where Lance crashed, where Logan crashed, where Danny crashed.
Really
yeah, so
bad place.
It's one of the banked corners, which makes sense, but he kind of went a little bit off the track. I think it is actually the racing line because everyone goes on that sort of part, but he was on like the wet painted like sponsor part, and it just kind of completely slipped out from under him. And he just went wee and then hit the wall.
Yeah, and you know what?
Busted
he kept it pretty straight until he didn't. Like,
yeah.
he looked like he almost saved it, and then he just didn't.
Yeah. And then it was a safety car, and then pretty much everyone pitted for tyres, I think, except for like maybe Ollie and a few others kind of further in the grid. But I think mostly everyone pitted.
This is where there was a few angry radio messages at engineers as well, though. Well, not so much angry, but I'm pretty sure this is the same crash where Liam was approaching that corner and his engineer quickly said, double yellow, where you are, mate. And he goes, I did not even see him there.
Yeah, because who was it?
I think it was Lewis there. Otherwise, he either didn't see Lewis crashed there or he didn't see the double yellows waving. I couldn't really understand what he meant by that.
Yeah.
But,
I couldn't tell either because I kind of looked away because they were just showing all the pit stops and I was like, well, that's fucking boring. And so I was like, looked away, and then all I heard was Liam's radio saying, "Oh my god, I didn't even see him," and I was like, what happened? But I was not about to rewind the live broadcast to check that out. Yeah, maybe Marshall.
I
don't know. Maybe I have to go back and check that. And see what that was. But yeah, it was also a double McLaren stack, and Lando almost drove away with the front jack.
Yeah. And I like he was so quick in the radio, he was like, is he okay?
Yeah.
And like, it's not his fault. They showed, I don't know if you saw the replay, but he was given the green light.
Yeah. Yeah, because he was in position to leave, and like he was given the green light to go, and then he was going as he went to like drop the jack, it just like didn't drop. He just like almost drove away. That would have been.
He's like, you're coming with me.
He would have taken out, because of the way that the jack was angled, he would have taken out like the entirety of bloody like Mercedes pit wall.
Yeah, literally. That would be kind of funny though, I can't lie.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much everyone jumped in the pits here. Charles like made it up to behind George after pitting. But also like it was his teammate that crashed, so how lucky are you really?
Yeah.
Then this is the actual angry radio messages we hear. We hear Lando get angry at William Joseph, or Willie Joe as I like to call him, for not informing him of what happened with Hamilton's crash. And like, most people might think, oh well, it wasn't him that crashed, but he makes a good point that it could have potentially ruined his own race if he didn't know how wet those painted lines were.
Yeah.
Which isn't really something I thought about, to be honest with you, until he like had a go at it. I was like, hey, that's actually a good point. Like, you actually probably do need to be told that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I would also like to add that Soph thinks maybe we need to pay a witch to take the curse off of Ferrari or give them better luck at least. And I agree.
I agree. I actually saw a meme of like Charles sitting on the sand dune, and it said, Charles after he DNF'd, Googling Etsy witches to reverse this curse.
Mate, let's help him out because I also have to laugh. We can only assume he stole the phone of a marshal while he was in that sand dune because I don't know where the phone came from.
Yeah, I think it was a marshal's phone, to be honest. And I genuinely think he was just watching the race.
No, me too. I think he just wanted to see the whole track.
Yeah. That man was not going to the media pen. He said, I need a minute.
Yeah. He was like, you know how we always say like they need to like cool down for a bit before they speak to the media, like no adrenaline. He's watched Gears and Glory. He took us seriously. He said, you know what, good idea. I'm gonna try that out.
Yeah. He needed some sensory time and to touch grass. And he did that.
Yeah, he did that. He needed to roll in it a bit more though, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, so then we had the safety car ended. Oscar had a really good restart. That was probably the best one that he had. George, being a hall monitor as he is on Isaac, on the radio for Isaac for moving under braking, which I didn't think that it was. Nothing came of it, but I thought he was just definitely doing the classic George and trying to, snatch other drivers up.
Yeah. Yeah. I think this is where Charles like really aggressively went around George. Like,
oh yeah,
maybe
this is
where they were like walking wheels.
Yeah, this is when the wheel to wheel one was, just judging by the comments that
LFG. Oh mate, Soph's commentary is so funny. Yeah, George tried so hard to get that position back, but Charles was not letting him pass.
Yeah, no, Charles, he had, many Weet-Bix for breakfast or something, I don't know.
Right. At least.
Yeah. But Charles on the radio, he got quite sassy. George didn't leave a space. He cannot complain.
Yeah.
And then George said, surely he was fully off the track. I think it was noted by race control, but I don't think anything came of it.
Yeah.
And
they were preemptively complaining there. I don't even think they had fully finished battling before both of them were like complaining on the radio.
No, it was literally straight after Charles got onto the straight and he was like, he can't complain.
Yeah, literally.
Anyway, George sustained a little bit of damage, and then Mercedes pulled out team orders instantly and swapped positions with Kimi so that Kimi could go and attack Charles, which he did. He really did. Mercedes really said, let the dogs out. And they sent Kimi after Charles. Yeah. And it was lap 53. I'll talk through this because I don't want Liv to cry again.
It makes it
lap 53, they ended up pitting Charles. He actually didn't think that it was a necessary pit stop. Yeah. And Charles's Soph's notes actually say, God, why? Please let this be a good decision. 2.1 stop. Out of the pit lane in front of Kimi Antonelli. Yes, with 3 exclamation marks. Then absolutely losing it after Kimi made contact. So, Kimi really did dive bomb Charles. It was in, again, on the banked corner. Charles was actually coming around the corner on the racing line and Kimi just straight dive bombed him. I genuinely think Kimi even turned the wheel until he was right next to Charles. Really? Then, as a result of that, Kimi's back tyres hit Charles's front tyres and just absolutely sent him spinning.
And you know what? If you want to take the low line, that's fine. Let Charles take the high racing line. You take the low line. Stay on that line.
Actually take the line, dude.
You don't start down the bottom and go, actually, you know what? I want to hit Charles Leclerc now.
also, you can't take and follow through with the low line if Charles is actually crossing in front of your path. Like, in what world was that going to work? It was the definition of a rookie mistake. I understand that, and I think Charles gets that as well. Like, maybe that's why he took some sensory time, because he was like, I can't get mad at Kimi. Like, he's a rookie.
He also seemed mad at him because his instant reaction, he seemed to be abusing Ferrari for pitting him.
Yes.
Like, not unnecessary. And at first, I thought he was talking about Kimi's move got unnecessary. I was like, yeah, I agree. And then I was like, I think he's talking about the pit stop. I think the pit stop was unnecessary.
Yeah, I definitely think he blames the pit stop for that because they would have been in a different position on the track.
Yeah.
A different, area on the track. As a result of this, Kimi got a 10-second penalty for the collision, and then he was also noted in the same breath. He was noted for speeding in the pit lane and received another 5-second penalty. So he was out of the points instantly.
That killed his race. I think he literally, by the end of it, dropped from P5 or 6 down to the late 10.
He was P16 when he finished. But he did have, up until then, a really good race. It would have been his first solid amount of points in a couple races.
Yeah, since Canada, I'd say, when he got his podium.
Yeah, which again is I think he's had 1 or 2 points here or there. But again, that I think also comes and speaks to his inexperience. He's so high up in the points, and he's like, oh my god, yes, I'm finally gonna get more points, and he's just a little bit of desperation. Yeah. And Charles was unfortunately the victim.
It's like a puppy dog when they pee when they see you because they're so excited. That's what he did.
He just got a little bit overwhelmed. Yeah. He went, points!
Charles! Everybody else. He took that meme from George Russell.
Yeah.
Mate. Another bloody safety car. Obviously, half of Charles Leclerc's car was now gone.
Yeah. I did actually, Charles did a really good job at getting it off the track. Because when he spun out, he ended up being kind of in the middle / off to the edge of the track, and I think Liam Lawson came around the corner behind him, or maybe it was Isaac, and anyway, he passed, and then Charles floored it and did a whoop-de donut, and then took himself off the track and into the grass, and then next minute he was sitting on the sand dunes, and that's where he stayed for about 20 something laps.
Yeah, he sat there until the end. He visual emphasis on sit there and think about what you've done.
Yeah, he literally sat there for 20 laps.
Almost head between the knees, bro was unwell.
I wanna tell everyone that Soph made a sticker of Charles sitting on the sand dune, sad with his head down, and it's been used about 6 times already between when the race ended at 2 a.m. and this morning at 9:30 a.m.
I'd say 7 because I also took it into another group chat this morning because it felt funny. So
okay, I like that.
She's like, I'm using her as much as I use my WhatsApp sticker of Oscar and Arthur kissing. That's how much I use this sticker already. And I use that kissing sticker a lot. So
I love the stickers.
I love it. What's up?
But yeah. So we had another safety car. Talk us through what happened.
McLarens, both of them in again. Both again. How?
Yep.
I understand, there's an art to double stacking, but how they manage to pull it off every time, it amazes me. I'll give them that. Because, sometimes, you can't pull off a double stack, even on a safety car or whatever.
Yeah.
Yet another tyre loss. I'm pretty sure this is where Kimi lost a freaking tyre after that incident. So at least he got some karma instantly. So he went for new softs. Who else pitted? Isaac and Verstappen both onto softs again, but the McLarens went for hards.
Mm-hmm.
That
was a bit of a gamble.
I don't know, because you know what? For such different tyres, which we'll hear about, I don't think it really made that great of a difference to what tyres you were on.
I don't think it made a difference for the McLarens because of how fast they are. It made a difference for Max being on the softs.
Yeah. He did catch up quite a bit, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so while they're showing the bloody restart, and the broadcast pans back to Charles Leclerc sitting on the dune. I'm so convinced whoever was on the broadcast team was like, I just need to check on him real quick.
Yeah, they were just doing constant welfare checks.
Yeah,
but I
kept going back to him.
I just laugh at Soph's notes, which say restart top 3 positions, hold. Charles just sitting on the dunes, sad face. Why is nobody coming to pick him up? I don't think he wanted to leave.
No, he's like, I'm staying here. You can't make me leave.
Yeah, he did not want
that was so sad. And it was almost like the pan to Charles Leclerc sitting there was really unfortunate foreshadowing. Because as quickly as they did that, they panned back to Lando Norris, who said, "There's smoke in my cot pink." Cot pink. Wow. In his cot. Oh my gosh. In his car, there was smoke, and he was like, "It really smells. I don't know if I'm on fire." So that was a little bit entertaining. His engine, I think. Well, they said it was an oil spill, so I'm assuming his engine went. The amount of smoke came out of it, that had to have been his engine gone. So that was a bit rough for McLaren fans because Lando took after Charles Leclerc and went and sat on the dune in the exact same position that Charles was in, as if he had somehow seen Charles sitting there like that, which makes it because there's no way he would have known he was doing that.
No, I don't know. I mean, sometimes the drivers do watch the broadcast as they go around the track on the massive TVs. I'm sure that some of them would have seen Charles just hanging out, but it was just a weird parallel. It was different parts of the track, but they were sitting the same.
Yeah. And you know what? That's been made into a sticker too.
Yeah, it has.
It's not as good, but a third safety car, lo and behold.
Yeah.
And you know what? I think this was a really good Dutch Grand Prix. I love a little action-packed thing. I love the stopping and starting. I love when the pack backs up just to have to separate again. It just makes it fun.
Yeah.
This is literally 7 or 8 laps to the end.
Mm-hmm.
So this means that now it's Oscar, Max, Isaac, Hadjar in P3.
Yes.
So with so few laps to go, this makes a safety car restart scary because obviously, like I said, the pack's backed up. What if Isaac got overtaken? And I will say, I was concerned that the race was going to end under safety car because of the oil.
Yeah.
And we got back underway. I do have to note, Lando instantly had his little cry over the radio, and William Joseph so quickly goes, you were fast, as if he was trying to prevent a mental breakdown, and it was so funny. And just Lando, I know, but what does it matter now? So funny, literally.
Yeah, I did giggle at the fact that instantly Will was just like, "You were fast, you were okay, it was good, you had a good race, blah blah."
Instant.
I love the reassurance and the support for the mental health, but it was how fast it happened that made me laugh.
Yeah,
Brian, I was like, he's on it.
Yeah, literally. No, that was really cute. I loved it. I had to have a giggle at it because it was it was so funny. But yeah, safety car restart, clean. It was lap 68 it restarted, so literally 4 laps to go. It was 72 lap race. Oh my gosh. Position didn't change. It was held to the end. Oscar wins. That's great. He's now on the same amount of wins as his manager, Mark Webber. Max P2, which almost didn't expect for a while there because I love Max. He has been struggling. So that was a really big win.
And I think this keeps up his record of always being on the podium in Zandvoort.
There you go.
They've only had 4 races, but
still.
Yeah.
So that's fun. And then to top off beautiful podium is Hadjar P3 rookie podium. If he does not get rookie of the year, I swear to God.
Yeah. I think all of the rookies, they have a good chance of winning.
Yeah.
But Isaac, Gabby, and Kimi particularly will deserve it.
Isaac's been so consistent, and now he's got the podium. And I understand Kimi's got a podium too, but he's not been as consistent or
Also, Isaac is in a V car.
Exactly. He's in a
Isaac is often outperforming Kimi in a Mercedes. So,
but this does in turn scare me that he is going to be in that Red Bull seat next year. And
Yeah,
if Red Bull is back this year, because I feel bad for Yuki. I love Yuki. He's a great driver. He's done so well in that V car the beginning of this year, even last year.
Mm.
And Red Bull has ruined him.
Yeah.
So I'm really, really sad.
Yeah, me too. Me too. I don't know if you saw on the broadcast as well, but they with Zandvoort where they park the cars, where they park 1, 2, 3, it's on the track, whereas normally they go into like Park Ferme and like the pits and stuff. And so Isaac wasn't right next to his team. And so after he like shook hands with like Oscar and Max, he like kind of did a little spin. He couldn't find his team, and then he found them. But Zach Brown is like right here in the broadcast, and then you see Isaac just like bolting in the back of the broadcast and like leaping onto his team with like a cameraman like running after him. But you have Zach Brown just standing there being like, just absolutely serving face.
He's absolutely not happy Lando didn't win.
Oh, he is unhappy.
I stand by, for the most part, that Zach Brown loves Lando and wanted Lando on the team, whereas Andrea Stella wanted Oscar.
Yep.
I don't know if I agree with that anymore, because even that reel we shared on Instagram, where we're like, this is weird vibes, even Andrea didn't look too happy that Oscar had won.
Yeah.
He gave us a hug, but he still had like a frown on his face.
Yeah, which is weird because in the broadcast, I swear no, actually, I'm not even going to talk about that. We can talk about that off recording.
I'm excited.
But there was McLaren also posted a reel of like Lando in that same when they were celebrating Oscar, but Lando was talking to Andrea, and then Zach Brown came up behind Lando and gave him like the biggest like bear hug from behind, and I was like,
he's like, you realize he DNF'd, yeah? He didn't win.
Troubles. That's your fault. That's not even his fault.
You did this.
Yeah.
This is a you problem.
Yeah.
No, I had to like, no, I didn't want to laugh. It actually made me really angry and want to like have a stern word with Crofty and Karoon. Over the broadcast, you've just watched Isaac get his weight done. You've watched them hand him his ticket with his weight on it, and next he's trundling off to jump on his team, and they go, he can't do that. He's not allowed to touch any of his personnel other than his trainer weighed in. Did you just watch the same broadcast I did? Because he just...
What the hell? And Oscar even let Isaac go first.
Yeah.
He was like, okay, off you go. Like, they literally had a little interaction at the bloody scale.
The way Oscar got out of his car and straight over to Isaac's.
Yeah.
I think I said this in the group chat earlier, but I had to laugh at the cool down room. All there. And then Max, when he got overtaken by Lando, bye!
Max is so nonchalant this season.
He said something about, let me see what I sent to the group chat. It was something about the George and Charles, maybe?
Oh.
He had a really far comment. Oh, he goes, so that is what happened. Oh, Lewis? I think it was when Lewis crashed. He goes, so that is what happened. But it was like really like, and it was so funny. Like just the whole cool down. Ooh. And I was like,
that's all it was. That's all it was. But the trophies for this race, fucking huge.
Yeah,
they literally were. Oscar's literally went above his knee.
Yeah,
it's huge,
insane.
Absolutely huge. Also, what is with the Pirelli podium hats? The last like 2, maybe 3 races, why have they just gone back to black? What's happened to the custom colours for every circuit?
They gave up.
I am mad about it.
No, me too.
They could have done a nice blue.
Yeah, literally. God, put the Dutch flag on it. I'm sure Max would have liked that.
Yeah. Like, why are we back to black? That's so boring. This is going to really affect our ranking of the Pirelli hats at the end of the season. Yeah. If they keep this up.
You know what? Anything that's just a black hat, DNF. They don't count in the rating.
Yeah, I agree with that. It's giving when I find a new project to start and I hyperfixate and I do it for like 5 weeks and then I'm like, okay, I'm done.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
Exactly.
They're like, this is such a great idea.
It's
Let's
so
do this.
cool. They should have kept it up, honestly.
Yeah.
What didn't make me mad though, and what I really loved, is that Isaac got beautiful men on his podium with him, and they sprayed him,
Yeah.
out him.
I giggled when Max like literally ran up to him and like did it in his face. I literally have a video of it.
So funny, literally.
Yeah.
That made my day. That made all the pain better.
Yeah. But again, it goes back to what we were saying where if it's someone's first podium, it needs to be Max or Charles on the podium for them to celebrate it good, because otherwise they don't get a good celebration, because Nico didn't have this.
Yep. It's going to sound bad, but if Oscar's on the podium and Lando's not, it's always a nice celebration. But it feels like when those two on the podium together, it's almost like they're trying to kill each other with their champagne so the other one doesn't win the championship. And that's all they're focused on.
Yeah.
And like, I think Oscar wants to spray the new podium sitter so much because he didn't get crazily sprayed when he got podiums first. Like, he didn't get the celebration he deserved. So I feel like he wants to. Like I said, the second Lando's on there with him. It's like they're just trying to fight for the championship with champagne.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's a little bit annoying.
I loved that they brought Car and put a female on the podium for the construction trophy. She was the chief financial officer.
Yeah, CFO. Absolute slay.
I love that.
So
and
good.
Max was the only one to chug the champagne. There was something about the podium was so good. He was like, cheers, everyone walked away and he was like, all right, my turn.
Yeah. Yeah. That was his first podium in a while.
Yeah. He's been having a
Yeah, he really has been. But I don't know if you have seen the reaction on Instagram and stuff to Lando's DNF, but the fangirls are going absolutely insane. And I have been told by a friend that she was talking to someone after the race, 1 a.m., and she had to try and tell this person that no, Oscar's girlfriend is not poking holes in Lando's car because she's an engineer. That's the point at which we're getting to, that these Lando fangirls are getting to.
Yeah, okay, cool.
They think that Oscar's girlfriend is poking holes in Lando's car because she's an engineer and she knows what's what. And she knows what to go for to sabotage his race.
Hey man, I'm also
Lily wasn't even there this weekend.
Literally, God, just blame Oscar straight out.
Yeah, why are you bringing his girlfriend into it?
You know what? While we're on this topic, you see everybody, like all the like Lando fans going off about how Oscar is dominating in a car Lando built. First of all, didn't realize Lando was an engineer. Second of all, if that's the case, I'm pretty sure this is his fault.
Yeah.
So why are we blaming Oscar's girlfriend? That's
yeah.
I'm gonna do a Twitter deep dive on this because I want to see who else is talking about this, just so I can like.
Oh, it's a big thing at the moment that people are saying that McLaren is sabotaging Lando's car.
Bro.
Because Lando is the only one that has these issues.
I feel like Oscar can just drive through an issue. McLaren sabotage. Yeah, that's what I want. Twitter, I love it.
Yeah. Yeah, give us a little recap one in the group chat once you
Oh my god.
You've already found something?
I'm a Leclerc fan. Do you know that Clara, her name's like Leclerc Letters? She's like posted, the scene in the F1 movie after like they've finally won in Abu Dhabi and they're like running down the pit lane and like there's fireworks everywhere. She's posted a clip of that with the first McLaren mechanical DNF in forever. We begged for this. It was her. She did it.
She did it.
That's the first thing I've just seen.
Actually, one of the girls that I know, she said that when the race was happening, she said, I'd be happy with I'd be okay with a Lando DNF if it meant an Isaac podium. And then she said, no joke, the next lap he DNF'd. And I said, oh, so it was you. You did this. And she was like, no, I think it was her.
That's okay though. We didn't say it was a bad thing.
Podium.
We didn't say it was a bad thing. We just said it
No.
was you. We know who to
Yeah.
thank. Yeah, Jesus.
Yeah. I never feel more patriotic than I do at 1 a.m. when the Australian national anthem is going.
That's it. I've just googled McLaren sabotage, and the first one was that we begged for this. The second one's why would McLaren sabotage their golden boy purposely? It's so for real, people. Zach Brown looked like he wanted to himself, even though his other driver got a grand slam this weekend.
Literally.
Yeah,
Literally. Lando is the Charles of McLaren.
yeah. Like it was unfortunate, but it was simply that unfortunate. It was an
Yeah.
accident. He was unlucky. I'm just saying more of these Twitter things. I'm going to send so many screenshots in the group chat after this.
Yeah, you got to let us know what's happening on Twitter, please.
I'll be like your Twitter concierge. What's the correspondent? I'll be your Twitter correspondent because I don't do anything on Twitter except for stalk these crazies.
Yeah, I like that.
I love it.
But yeah, that marks the end of the Zandvoort recap. Next week, we've got a double header this week. So next up is Monza in a couple of days. And as Liv rightly pointed out this morning, the last time that Ferrari double DNF'd before Monza, they actually came back for revenge and got 1-2. So we can manifest that. Everyone get your candles out. Get your pasta.
Book a witch now.
Get on Etsy. They're about to be busy. All right.
It's fine. But thank you for joining us for the literal chaos at Zandvoort.
Yeah.
And I suppose we'll see you in Monza.
See you there.
So excited. All right. On that note, bye-bye.
Bye.